Wise words from a Peruvian right there. So while you're trying and working so hard to get everything you want all at once, just remember to go easy on yourself. Rest and take it easy on your body, and just celebrate one progress, one victory, one win at a time. Welcome to the conversation on TOSTV Network, your digital first Pan African news network. And I'm bringing you the show from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, and my name is Asuu Strike. Today on the conversation, we're going to be talking about the much talked about, the controversial Asuu Strike that has lingered for over 60 days now. Nigerian students have been at home that long. There's been a back and forth as to what Asuu wants, what the federal government is saying. The minister has asked lecturers to go back to the classroom, and Asuu is saying they're not going back to the classroom until their demands are met. And students are just, have been at the brunt of the back and forth, and that's what we're going to be looking at on the show today. Asuu Strike, plight and pains 64 days after. And to join me in having that conversation via the phone is Rasheedat Ohiere, a Nigerian student here in Abuja. Good morning, Rasheedat. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. It's such a pleasure to have you. Now
it's my pleasure.
Let's get straight into it. 64 days after, it was supposed to be like a 1-month strike, but it's lingered on for 2 months, and it's just not as it was also in strike. How does that make you feel? What has it been so far for you as a Nigerian student?
Well, it's really disheartening that it has extended to over 2 months now.
Yes.
It started since February, and here we are. We're in April now, and there's still no hope for the Nigerian students. And this is so much that I want to say that it's really not fair on the Nigerian students that we have to fall a victim of this. I remember we had a protest that was led by the Nigerian Association of Nigerian Students, NAN, and at the end of the day, there was no valid result or outcome from the protest. So automatically, I feel the government did not value the Nigerian education system, because I see no reason why the students of a nation will be locked down and the federal government will not do anything about it. I mean, we didn't pledge for this. We only wish to be educated like others. Education is not a privilege but a right. We pay for the school fees, and they are not taking us serious, and this isn't fair.
Okay.
I mean, there are some students who have other things to do, or they're like using this opportunity to learn skills and do other things. But what about those that don't have the means to do something? What about those who have, given up already? How do you intend to convince them to come back to school? This isn't fair. I mean, most of these people that put us in this, their children are not even schooling in this country. So they don't know what we are going through, and they don't value the Nigerian education system.
So the last time you were on the show, you did mention that you understood the plight of Nigerian lecturers as to why they have to embark on the strike, and then you were clamoring for the federal government to meet their demands and all of that. Do you still feel the same way now? Do you still understand their plight, and do you still think that there should be a compromise at this point?
Well, exactly. I feel there should be a compromise. I mean, they should come to an equilibrium. They should have a slight negotiation. Asuu should be considerate, while federal government also should be considerate. I mean, if you're demanding for something and you're not getting it, and then the students are not, there is no hope coming. The federal government is not ready to submit to Asuu. Asuu is not ready to submit. I mean, where are we going with this? Is this how it's going to continue? What then is our fate? What then is our fate with the Nigerian students? So if the federal government did not come in time with Asuu, it shows that we're going to stay, even if this extends to a year further. So what I'm saying is they should find a different means to sort this out. I mean, academic session can still be running while they are settling their things out there, not necessarily we being affected or being kept at home.
Okay, but do you think
And
if the lecturers decide to go back to the classroom because of the students, that the federal government is going to understand, and maybe do you think they're going to eventually get what they want? You mentioned other means. What other means do you think they could actually, use to get the message across, aside, the strike action?
And that is why I kept on insisting on the slight negotiation with them. I mean, the amount ASU is demanding for, I really can't say what made them bring it out. Yes, it's an agreement they have with federal government.
Yes.
But since you see that it's not forthcoming, there should be a different direction. Yes, and the students should not be a victim of this. I'm only speaking for the students.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for ASU. I'm not speaking for federal government.
Yeah.
I'm only speaking on behalf of the students because I am also a student.
Yes.
So we shouldn't be delayed because of an agreement they had with federal government or whatever they discussed. I mean, when they are having their closed door meeting, there was no student representative there. So why should we now be the one to be blamed or be the victim of whatever they're going through now? I don't know if you're getting me.
Yes, I get you.
So we should not be a victim of it. They usually have their closed door meetings. There will be no student representative. So what if federal government cannot reach out to the agreement they had, why should we fall the victim? Being kept out of our own school. We paid this school fees for crying out loud. A course of 6 years turned out to be 7 years, 8 years. A course of 4 years turned out to be 5 years, 6 years. A course of 5 years turned out to be 6 years, 7 years. For what we didn't commit, for a crime we didn't commit. And that is not fair. We are only pleading for them to come to an equilibrium. We are tired of staying at home. This isn't fair. This isn't what we signed up for. Education is not a privilege, but a right to us.
Okay.
So I'm only speaking for the students now.
Okay. Looking at it from the students' perspective, what would you say, like in clear terms, what is the pain of Nigerian students at this time? And how can, you as students help, maybe mitigate against all of this to ensure that you lot get back to the classroom and, everybody's happy at the end of the day?
Sorry, can you come again, please?
Okay, so first of all, so it's a two question in one. What I said was, in clear terms, what is the pain, like the actual pain of Nigerian students right now about all of this? And then how can you lot as students help mitigate against this conflict to ensure that you get back to the classroom and everybody's happy at the end of the day?
Well, the major thing right now, or the major pain, I would say, is that since we're not in school, there is nothing happening currently. Like I said, some of us are taking that opportunity to maybe learn some skills, do something to help ourselves. What about those that are not privileged? What about those that don't have that opportunity? Their lives have been wasted anyhow. And how do you think they will have that interest? How do you think they'll have that interest in going back to the school? How do you think they will have that interest in going back? And what makes you think their mental stress will not be delayed or something?
Yeah.
So that's just it, Cha.
Okay, so how can students help, to interfere, mitigate against the conflicts to ensure that everybody gets what they want at the end of the day? How can you guys come in as, the ones that are most affected by it? How can you come into all of this?
Sorry, come again. Sorry.
How can students come into all of this, mitigate against it, help solve the conflict to ensure that everybody gets what they want at the end of the day? What role can students play in all of this to ensure that you get back to the classroom?
Well, we've really tried our best. Like we put up a very peaceful protest the other day, which we got abandoned by the Minister of Education. It's so unfortunate that he didn't even recognize the presence of the students. And then we still can't, because of that, and keep quiet. At least the revolutionary NANS president is doing his own will to at least make sure that our voice are being heard. So that they can at least intervene in one way or the other. But what I would advise the student out there is they shouldn't relent. They shouldn't give up on this because of Asuu Strike. They should still keep on with that hope that yes, we still have a chance to go back to school. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Rashidat, for sharing your thoughts with me on the
You're,
conversation this morning. It's
you're
such a
very much
pleasure to have
welcome. You're
you.
very much
Thank you.
welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. And thank you for staying with me up until now on the conversation. Do not forget that I will be back here same time tomorrow. But before then, follow us across all social media platforms. It's TOSTV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The channel to subscribe to on YouTube is TOSTV Network. And of course, stream our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, for news, stories, and happenings from across the world. My name is Adesuwa. So thank you, and please join me again tomorrow.